I'm Gökay. I live in Istanbul. I'm a fashion designer. I have my own brand since 6 years. It's called Tag, The Attitude by Gökay Gündogdu. It means the attitude, like, because I care a lot. I mean, how much you care about yourself and how like you treat other people. It's like your attitude, and you can define it with your clothes, what you wear. So I think your attitude is more important, like how we carry the clothes, as much as like how they are beautiful. So that's why I put this name to my brand. And since 2015, I'm telling strong woman stories in every single collection of mine, and that's it. Actually, I studied business in the beginning. Then I moved to New York to study brand management and strategic marketing. Then I found myself during the case studies that I'm really into design and I want to be at the creative part of it. And then I asked for a scholarship in Milan. Then I won it from Domus Academy. I won the scholarship. I moved to Milan from New York and I studied there. It was beautiful. It was such a creative journey for me. Then I became a fashion designer. I came back because of personal reasons, because of my family, because my family runs their own business and they wanted me to lead the company. We tried for 6 months, but like I didn't fit in it because it's another world. It's more industrial production. So I wanted to be in the creative part of the industry. So that's why I moved back to Turkey. My style is very, I think, strong in terms of forms and shapes, but really simple, minimal, I can say. But there's always a twist in the details, and I care about a lot of craftsmanship and also the fabric quality. So high quality fabrics, high craftsmanship, minimal in style, but never basic, but like timeless pieces. The collection that you picked the pieces from is about two flaneurs. So flaneuse means like the woman who walks in the city. So we missed that a lot, like being in the city, like walking in the city because of the pandemic. We didn't, get out of our homes. We were stuck in the office, in the homes. So we were not really able to go out and have fun and enjoy the city with friends or with anyone, even with yourself alone. So I thought like that would be interesting in an empty city. Two flaneurs walk down the city and like sightseeing, doing all touristic stuff. But like it's like being a tourist in your hometown. So the pieces were relaxed, but at the same time they're like functional, utilitarian. But you can also feel yourself shake. I love fashion because it reflects today. It reflects the time we are living in. So when you look at like 20 years ago's magazines, so you can understand like what was going on that time. So if there was a war, if there was something dark, or if there was an issue. Sometimes people think that like fashion is something light, like it doesn't weigh a lot in terms of like social issues or something important. But I think it reflects a lot about the most important things in life. Like, if you see something militarian, you can understand like there is war. Or if you see something neon, you can understand like there is an economic crisis in the world because they play with the colors. Or like sometimes, you see a lot like paparazzi stuff, like who wore what, but I think fashion is much more than that. Look at today's magazines. Maybe after like 50 years from now, you're gonna, check the magazine's headlines or the fashion shoots. You're gonna see the colors, you're gonna see, all the setups and everything, and you will understand that sustainability became a big issue in the world and fashion is taking care of it. So that's what I love about fashion. I think like everybody should have in their closet a white shirt, a cotton white classic shirt. Even with pajamas, with shorts, even with flip-flops, when you wear a white shirt, you're always chic. You can change your mood, you can change the perception. I like they're very adjustable in everybody's style. So you can wear it in very different ways. And of course, I don't have to mention about the high craftsmanship and also the high quality of the fabrics. But I like the pieces that we have in the feminist collection. They are adjustable, that everybody's style. So you can wear it in very different ways, and the forms they have, like when you wear it, you're gonna feel much more stronger. So it gives you an attitude as well. That's what I always try to have in my collections. I like the construction part of it. So I like how I build, how I construct the shape, how I cut the shape, and also like how I clean the overlocks or inside the part of the the design pieces. So it differs from one designer to another. For me, the cleaning part, the biases that I use, or the materials when I use to clean the stitches are really important to me. But the final customer like wouldn't understand like if I don't inform them or if I don't mention it. But I think it's really important when you open a shirt and when you see the inner stitches. If you see like everything in clean, I don't know, it makes me happy. So I feel like I made something really good, really cool. It was a really difficult production process. Actually, and I experienced like the world is not really 100% ready to do it because there has to be a demand for it to make it cheaper at the same time. The economical part, again, like it's really difficult as well. I mean, you pay double almost to have a source in organic. So there was a lot of obstacles about manufacturing, about sourcing as well. It's been hard, but I'm really happy that we succeeded it in 100% way. We sourced the best fabrics, also the threads, or the side materials like the labels, buttons. So we forced ourselves a lot to adjust ourselves to feminists. Way of understanding organic and sustainable fashion, and I'm very happy about the result. Before you start organic production, you have to clean the environment, like from floor to top. Like everything has to be cleaned. All the machinery like you use, all the scissors you cut the fabrics, everything, and everything which is not organic has to be taken out from the atelier, like because of the dust that they can create. And when you cut the organic cotton, you cannot cut something just next to it. So only organic cotton can be cut in there. Only organic cotton can be sewn in the atelier. So it requires a lot of instructions to be followed by the atelier owners as well. So it's not really easy to find an atelier who can just follow these instructions as well, because it requires a lot of care. And it's so in the end, like there are a lot of people working in the atelier at the same time, and they are doing for different clients as well. But the ateliers we're working for, they only work for us. For that time of period, they only cut our fabrics, sew our fabrics. So when feminist enters in the atelier, there is only feminist. Actually, I don't have a routine in terms of the way I design the collections, but I'm interested about today, like what we're going through, what we're missing, what would we like to see around. So like what excites us. I'm really, interested about today's issues, today's topics, and I want to reflect today's stuff in my collections as well. I take like some days off. For example, last year, before the pandemic, I was feeling the same, and I tripped to Black Sea in the mountains. So it was beautiful. I just, stayed there for 9 days in a cottage. It was beautiful to be in the nature. It helps me a lot. The nature really treats me. Sustainability means to me something which you can continue doing it. So if you start doing something and if you cannot continue doing the same thing, then it's not sustainable. So this definition helps me a lot about like what I do in terms of production, in terms of design. So if I do it for once, then it's not sustainable. For the feminist, the designs that I have for the feminist collection, actually we didn't change a lot in terms of the construction of the garments, but we changed the materials that we use. For example, in terms of shell buttons, we started using coroza buttons. It's a palm tree seed. So now we have vegan sustainable buttons for feminists. So the cottons turned out to be organic cottons in terms of labeling as well, and also for the shirtings. And the threads we use for the sewing now from cotton to hemp and lyocell. There are some designs that you cannot really design in terms of sustainability because sometimes you need special or technical process on the garment, like technical gear, for example. You need to have a chemical washing or a chemical bonding or a lamination. For example, for the firemen, they have to have special gears. You cannot make something sustainable for them in terms of using an organic cotton, but you have to maybe a silicone lamination or the non-fireable lamination as well. So you cannot do everything. Or like, for example, waterproof gears or waterproof raincoats. So you have to have a silicone washing on the top of the cotton, and it's not sustainable, not environmentally sustainable. If I could choose one organic fabric, that would be organic cotton. As I mentioned before, I love white shirt, and that's the best material for it. When I hear feminism, what comes to my mind is women, not objects, not yours.